Hey, everybody. Hey, everybody. I'm just on here a few minutes early just so that everybody has a chance to log on and that I don't have any glitches. So I am just going to just wait for 5:30 and see if I have people that I need to remind. So I'm just gonna go over to the events and post in there. Hope everybody's having an awesome day. And if you guys are on watching, do me a favor and post an emoji, just so that it alerts more people that I'm live. That would be super awesome. Hi, Sasha. Oh, there's a few comments already. Awesome. I wish it would show me the comments. Oh, there's 14 comments. Oh, wow. Woohoo! Andrea, hi. Brenea, hi. Samantha, Amber, Jessica, Ada, Mariah, Amy, Sasha, Ash, Taylor. Woohoo! Awesome. Yay! This is exciting. Okay, one more minute, guys. Hi, Shay. Hi, Basharon. Hi, Rochelle. Where's everybody from? Hi, Tiffany. This is awesome. Yay, I'm so excited. There's nothing worse than doing a live and nobody's around. So we're just going to give it one more minute just for everyone. Hi, Tiffany. Hi, Jessica. Hi, Laura. Hi, Allison. Hi, Carrie. Hi, Sarah. Texas. Woohoo! Manitoba. Nice. Hi, Haven. Where's everybody from? California. I bet you're getting nicer weather than I am. Nanaimo, nice. Florida. Awesome. Very cool. Oh, it's 5:30. Okay. I think we are going to get started. It looks like we've got a decent little crowd going. So I am just going to stop sharing my whiteboard. And I am going to, oh, there we go. Share my desktop, and then we are going to pull up Canva. Okay. It's quite the task to get this all set up. So thank you guys for joining me. I really love it when I have a crowd because, you know, it's way more fun to have people to talk to. So show me some, we got to pick a really fun emoji for this boot camp. Which one should we do? I think the first person to post a goofy emoji, that's the emoji we have to do. Hey, Rhonda. Okay. I'm just going to put my, okay. We're going to get started. So for those of you that don't know me, oh, Sasha chose an emoji with money tongue. Oh, I think everybody's got the goofy emoji. So we're going to do the goofy emoji. Or the silly emoji, I guess. Welcome, welcome, you guys. So my name is Catherine. For those of you that don't know me, I am the owner and creator of Mom Talk Educate. I have a YouTube channel. If you guys haven't checked it out, there's loads of free tutorials and videos, like with posing, wrapping, and editing. And this group that you guys are watching the video in is Passion for Posing, all about newborn photography. So thank you for joining. And today we're going to focus on helping those that are newer to the industry, but this entire boot camp, there's going to be something for everyone. So don't feel like, if maybe you know a lot of the things from today that you're going to know everything from this week, because everything's going to be tailored to kind of like a different group for each day. So there's going to be something for everyone. Adriana, it's Mom Talk Educate. Yes, you definitely want to follow me on YouTube because there's always some really good stuff that goes on there. Hi, Brianne. Hi, Adriana. Hi, Jennifer. Hi, Alicia. Hi, Tanya. Awesome. Okay. So the awesome emoji that we're using today. Oh, I like the snail emoji. That's awesome too. We're going to use the silly emoji because I like to make silly faces too. So that's good. Anyways, I've been doing newborn photography for going on 13 years, and it's been crazy. And it's been awesome. And I've been able to support my family. My husband was able to change careers. I was able to keep us going, and even through COVID. So yeah, it's a really great genre or niche to be a part of because you can support your family. You can still have a life. You don't have to work weekends. You don't have to work evenings. You can charge enough that you don't have to do 1 million sessions a month. And so basically I do these boot camps to, for one thing, give back to the community. This is a lot of free education that I provide every time I do a boot camp. Every day is going to have something different. Tomorrow, we're going to talk about marketing and pricing. Wednesday, we're going to talk about websites and SEO. Thursday, we're going to cover editing. And Friday, we are going to cover a couple other things I just can't remember at the moment. So there's going to be definitely loads of stuff. And there's freebies and giveaways at the end of every single day. So definitely make sure that you try and participate as much as possible throughout the boot camp each day. And we might even have a little bit of a extra bonus for the person that contributes the most comments and likes and whatnot. And if you have a question, feel free to let me know because I love to answer questions. Welcome, welcome. Hi, Alicia. Hi, Robin. Hi, Catherine. Hi, Andrea. Hi, Aisha. Yes, I will grab a link to the YouTube channel afterwards. If somebody else feels like grabbing it, they can and post it in the comments, but I will definitely do that after. Oh, thanks, Robin. Okay, so today, so I'm going to are really great to have. The gear and equipment and posing tools, the essential props and accessories, and then of course the giveaway at the very end. So basically this is free content. So, there's no sales pitch. Yes, I am going to talk about my mentoring program eventually near the end of the boot camp, but you're going to get so much free content that you don't have to worry. You're definitely going to benefit from this. Okay. So if you are new to the, industry in general, this is probably a no-brainer. You definitely want to go and grab a business license. So I'm just going to cover the basics that everyone needs. The average depends on really where you live, the area that you live in. Sometimes if you live in an area outside of a big city, but you want to have a business license in that big city, what they'll do is they'll actually charge you an out-of-town fee because you're not a resident in that city. But if you have a studio in that city, then they'll give you a residence cheaper business license. So that can be anywhere from 100 to 300, but if you're in an out-of-town business license, then you could be paying up to $1,000. And that's basically what it is in the area that I live in. If you're in the United States, when you're running a newborn photography business, it's important to set up an LLC. If you're in Canada, you actually don't need to you don't need to become incorporated. You don't need to set up anything like that. You can just be a sole proprietor. But if you're in Canada, once you make over $30,000, you do need to register for a GST number. So don't feel like you have to register for a GST number right off the bat. That's not important if you're not making that amount of money. But once you do start making $30,000 or more, the government is automatically going to charge you that GST. So if you're not registered for that number and you're not charging your clients, because you can't charge them without the GST number, you're going to be paying out of pocket. So that's just something to think about if you're in Canada. This is something that I feel like a lot of people don't really think about, and that is having a separate bank account for your business. So I was listening, because I'm not American, I'm Canadian, and I was listening to a business podcast with an accountant to specifically discussing LLC for photographers. And it's really important that if you're running an LLC, you do have a business bank account. So make sure that you get that set up right away. And don't mingle your personal expenses with your business expenses. And honestly, it's just going to make your business so much easier to run. And your bookkeeping is going to be cheaper, or even just doing your own bookkeeping is going to be easier because you're going to be able to print off your business bank statements and your business credit card statements, and it's just going to be so much easier. I also wanted to mention that a business bank account is really, really cheap. In Canada, it's like $6 a month. So as long as, like, for me, I am with the Royal Bank in Canada, as long as I do everything online, they only charge me $6 a month. So all the extra fees are if I do anything at the bank, they charge larger fees for transactions. Another thing, it's EIN. Robin, what is that? Can you tell me what EIN is? Another thing that's really important is you need to set up business insurance. And this is really, really important to protect yourself and your business and your livelihood. So that would be, $1 to $2 million liability. Probably 2 million is probably best. I think people in the United States are a little bit more, they like to sue each other. I don't know. Or is that just what us Canadians think Americans like to do? I don't know. It's not really a thing very often here, but I would really, really recommend that you protect yourself by getting insurance. And insurance can really be as cheap as $50 a month, or it could be up to $100 a month. Mine is around like the $75 mark a month, and that does cover theft, damages, as well as the liability. Oh, thanks, Robin. Federal tax ID number. Okay, cool. And is there a certain number that, so you guys do like to sue each other? Sorry, I can't help but make fun. Okay, the next essential business requirement, I would say, is a custom domain and a website. So I'm just literally giving you very, very basic numbers. Obviously, these numbers can get higher depending on what you sign up for and, what memberships or accounts you get. But if you go onto GoDaddy.com, you can get a website sometimes, for a penny for the first year, and then they charge you like $10, $25 a year after that. So definitely check that out. I know that it'll be cheaper if you sign on for longer. So 3 years, you're going to get a cheaper price. And then for website hosting, that's just something that you have to pay for. So unfortunately, it's not entirely free to have a website. You will end up having to pay for hosting. And that's usually around $25 to $40 a month. But we're going to go more into websites and SEO and all that sort of thing on Wednesday. And then, of course, but there's bookkeeping software. Now, if you are not keeping track of your sales and invoices and receipts with a software, please start today. Okay, I am linking waveapps.com. It's free. It's true, you do have to have money to make money, but I'm trying to show you like the very bare basics to get into this business if this is something that you want to do. So QuickBooks is around 20 bucks a month. In Canada, it's 25. But if you are not using a software yet, Wave Apps it's free. I used it literally for 11 years. I've only just switched to QuickBooks, and I almost want to go back to Wave Apps because it's just simple. It's free. You can accept payments with credit cards and give receipts, and you can do all your bookkeeping on there. So there's really no excuses to not be looking after your business the right way. So the average monthly cost for these things is about $125 a month. I just took the average cost for a business license and then the lowest cost for business insurance and the lowest cost for these things. So yeah, around $125 a month you can look at spending on your business. Now we're just going to discuss memberships. So feel free, if you guys have any questions at any point, feel free to ask them because obviously I'm here to share as much as I possibly can. So definitely, if you have a question about something, just feel free. Now, there are so many programs out there for editing. A lot of people are, concerned about what software is important to edit with. If you are trying to run a professional newborn photography business, I really, really recommend that not only do you use Lightroom, but you also learn how to use Photoshop. Okay, now a lot of newborn photographers, myself included, we don't use Lightroom, we use ACR, which is Adobe Camera Raw, which basically does everything that Lightroom does, and Bridge. So basically what it is think of Lightroom split into two things. Bridge is where you can sort and organize your images into, instead of catalogs, you can organize them into collections. You can batch presets onto them. You can do a whole bunch of different things in Bridge, and you can cull your images in Bridge. And then ACR, Adobe Camera Raw, is where all the light settings and all the, if think about if you had a preset to apply, that's where you would do that in Adobe Camera Raw. Yeah, and the reason why I recommend ACR over Lightroom is because it's just not as heavy of a program. Like in simple terms, Lightroom is a very big program, and so what it can do is it can bog down your computer, and you're going to find that your computer is going to crash less if you don't have Lightroom on your computer. And really, unless you're a wedding photographer or like a high volume photographer, like maybe sports photography, where you're taking like every session has 1,000 pictures, you don't really need Lightroom. Okay, so if you are, just beginning, don't download Lightroom, even though it's included. It's just going to bog down your computer. Okay. And this is coming from somebody who also, I felt like, but maybe it's just, a myth. Maybe Lightroom is way better than ACR, because I started with Bridge and Adobe Camera Raw. And then about 3 years into using it, I switched to Lightroom, and I used Lightroom for about 3 years. And then I was like, it was crashing my computer all the time. It was just driving me insane. But basically, you're just adding too much information to your computer, and your computer can't handle it. Unless you're just a high volume, wedding photographer, and, you're just extra, you got an extra big computer. But if you're just a newborn photographer, you don't need it. Okay. The next is a software where you can present your images or your proof images or your final gallery to your clients. There's a lot of different softwares out there. PicTime is something I've been using for the last few years. It's really awesome. I've been using it for the last 4 years. And their very beginning price is $7 a month. You can't beat that. PicTime is a beautiful program. It's so professional looking. I used to use Shootproof, and Shootproof I just felt like just wasn't as beautiful as PicTime. PicTime is really like that next level of luxury. So if you're looking for something that you want to deliver your images, your final images with, PicTime is the way to go. It also includes a slideshow technology. It includes music. So literally I can make a slideshow in about 25 seconds. And if I'm doing a session, no, PicTime has nothing to do with an iPad. PicTime is on a computer. Alicia. Yeah. And so PicTime is really awesome. So I use PicTime for a few different things. I use PicTime to offer my clients proof galleries if I'm not doing an online ordering appointment with them. I use it to show slideshows to my clients when I am doing a Zoom ordering appointment. So I literally just screen share and I share the slideshow with them, and they love it. And you can, I think you can add your own music. Don't quote me on that actually, but they have so much music, so it's pretty good. And then I also send my finished galleries using PicTime, and they have huge storage, and it's just a really awesome program. And it also has an option where you can add items to the shop, and people can actually order products directly through the PicTime store, and they'll be able to see their images mocked up in the products and albums and things like that. So it's just a really beautiful, beautiful program. Number 3, it's important to have a CRM. And what a CRM is basically a client relation management program. I think I said that right. Yeah, you can do everything in ACR that you can do in Lightroom, to be honest. You can do everything. I think it's just that there is people that are just unaware that they're basically the same thing. So if you are new to it, definitely check it out. It's really, really good. Okay, so the CRM, back to that, they range in pricing, but they actually can handle a whole bunch of different things. Some of these different companies that I've listed below have different things to offer. I think they all include a free trial. So I would recommend checking them all out, doing the free trial, and just seeing which one you like the best and which one fits your needs the best, and going with that. So I would say the average price is around $25 a month. You can include contracts in them. You can include online booking. You can do invoices. You can do bookkeeping. You can do like scheduling. You can do everything inside of these CRM. And they will also send your clients reminders for your appointments with them and so forth. So this is definitely something that you guys should look into if you have not done that already. Okay, so I'm just going to look here at the comments. Yes, you can copy and paste and edit settings in ACR too. Yes, you can. Trust me, Alicia, you will love having ACR once you learn how to use it. It's awesome. So the companies with CRM are 17 Hats. I use 17 Hats personally. I'm not a fan. I'm going to cancel it as soon as my year is up, and I'm going to try out Pixello. Honeybook is a really great one if you're an American. I had to cancel mine and get a refund because in Canada they did not allow me to accept email money transfers. I had to only accept credit card payments with my invoices, which obviously doesn't work for me if my clients want to pay email money transfers. So I had to end up getting a refund with them. I haven't tried the other ones, but I know that lots of people love them, and there's a lot of great options for you. So 17 Hats, Pixello, Honeybook, Sprout Studio, Studio Ninja, Dubsado, Pixieset, ShootQ, Bloom, Tave, and Pixify. So those are a bunch of different names that you guys can check out. It's really not confusing. You definitely just need to play around with it. It's actually so basic that it's almost like, it's like switching from a PC to a Mac. it's almost like a Mac is almost so basic, it's confusing because a PC is so confusing. So, I feel like that's how I would, oh yes, IrisWorks is another one too, yes. I haven't tried that one, but, those are all really great companies that I would recommend you check out. I just realized I forgot to record this. Oh, it's too bad. But don't worry, it's still on the Facebook Live. For my CRM, I'm using 17 Hats, but I'm not gonna lie, I don't like it. I find that it glitches a lot. It's very like, I think they need to update it. And I would just not recommend buying it. I'm gonna cancel mine as soon as because I prepaid for the year, I'm gonna cancel it and I'm gonna change. Pixello is a new one and I'm gonna try that one next. Okay. If you guys have not signed up for Canva, you are missing so much, I can't even tell you. So there is a free membership with Canva, but let me tell you, I think the $13 a month, no, 17 Hats is good with Canadians. I said HoneyBook did not work well for me as a Canadian. Amber. Yeah, all of the ones that I listed are good for Americans, but HoneyBooks for Canadian, there was some issues. I hope that makes sense. Payment issues specifically. And I tried to reach out to them and ask them if they could add it, and they're not at the point they could not do that. So Canva is actually what I'm in right now doing this presentation. Canva, I pay for the pro membership. I think in Canadian it works up to $17. I think for Americans it's $12 a month, or around that price. It is so affordable, you can't afford not to have it, okay? Even just to make, marketing things for social media, making cute things for your website, brochures for marketing, all of those things, you can't afford to live without it. It's phenomenal. Number 5, Jotform. Now I've been using Jotform for like 8 years now, and it is fantastic. I know that maybe you don't need Jotform if you have one of these CRM programs, but maybe if you're not ready to invest in a CRM program yet, just sign up for Jotform, okay? You just need a contract. They allow you to have up to 5 free forms and up to 1,000 submissions free, okay? So it's definitely something that you need to get on right away. With Jotform, you can actually have your clients sign their contracts digitally. You can send them a link by text for them to fill out their forms. I actually use Jotform for everything. I use it for my prep guides. I use it for my all my model applications. I use it for my contracts. I use it for everything. So it's definitely worth getting. If you don't have a membership with Jotform yet, you need it. Yes, I just realized it's in Facebook. It's going to be available on Facebook to rewatch. I just realized I forgot to record it on Zoom, but you'll still be able to watch it again, so it's no big deal. Okay, and then next is ManyChat. Now, ManyChat is super cool. I've talked about this with my mentoring students. ManyChat is free for a certain amount of messages, like questions or automations, I should say. And you can connect it with Zapier, but you don't need to. You can just connect it to your social media accounts. And what you can do is you can type in different things that you want it to automate to. So let's just say that you want to have an automation on a post and be like, the first people to comment book now or spring special or something, ManyChat will send them a direct message with whatever information you want them to have. So it's a really great way to get people involved and commenting on your social media posts. And then they automatically get that instant response right away, and it can actually have like a little bit of a conversation with them, and it's going to have them more invested in your social media account faster, and it's just a really, really great program. So check that out. Of course, there's a paid version of it, but to be honest, just use the free version for now until you decide that you want to sign up for it, because it's awesome. Definitely something that I wish I had a while ago. Andrea, what is it about the mobile capabilities that you don't like about Pixieset? I think this is really good to talk about, because for other photographers that are interested in possibly signing up with them, it's good. If anybody actually has any of these different programs and there's something that they love about it or something that they don't love about it, feel free to post that in the comments, because I think it's really beneficial for everybody to kind of get some feedback, because I think as a community, sometimes, you know, we don't know, okay, well, that person's using this, that person's using that. Like, what do we do? What do we, you know, what do we sign up for? I signed up for 17 hats because I didn't know what I should sign up for. I signed up for HoneyBooks, it didn't work out. Then I tried 17 hats and I prepaid for the year and I couldn't get a refund after I realized I didn't like it. So, definitely, if you guys are using a certain CRM program, definitely write down what you love about it or what you would change. Next. So this works out to being, if you guys did all of the, if you did all of the minimum memberships that I have listed here, and then the free memberships on this side, this brings you to about a monthly minimum of $41 a month. So that's not too bad, you guys, to get some really, really great programs. So Andrea said about, Andrea Pixieset, she said, specifically not being able to modify client galleries on my phone when I'm unable to be behind my computer. You can just share. Okay, I see. And then Samantha said, the Studio Manager isn't mobile friendly in Pixieset, so it's harder to use on the run, but the actual price for amount of services is still worth it for me. Okay, cool. Sarah loves Studio Ninja, very easy to use. Awesome. What is it that you like about Studio Ninja, Sarah? Can you let us know some of the best things about it, other than the fact that it's easy to use, which is a very big point. So that's awesome. Okay, so now we're just going to talk about camera gear and lighting. And I know that I'm probably going to, you know, probably, I don't know, sound very opinionated about this, but I am a firm believer that if you are going to be a photographer in general, that you should invest in a MacBook Pro. I've had all of the different types of computers, and the PCs just could not handle Photoshop and Lightroom and all the things, and the heavy the large files, and just the processing of everything. Like, I'm not a computer expert. I just know that, like, my husband, he did so much research, and basically MacBook Pros are designed specifically for photographers. And now with their brand new chips that they have in their computers, they're faster and better. You're not going to have crashing. The coloring on your screen is going to be so accurate. You're not going to have to obsess over having to calibrate your screen all the time. And it is an investment, but your computer is going to last 5 to 10 years. So if you were to invest in a PC, you could get a gamer's computer. You could get it all built up. You could be spending a few $1,000s, but it's still not going to last that time frame that you may have gotten out of a MacBook Pro. And I know, because I have done all of it, and I've had the iMac, I've had the MacBook Pros, I've had the PC computers, I've had the PC laptops, I've had, extra RAM, I've had extra storage. I'm telling you right now, just bite the bullet, save up the money if you have to, and purchase a MacBook Pro. Go into Apple, tell them what you're doing, tell them the type of photography you do. And I recommend, I didn't put this on the list, but that you work off an external hard drive so that your MacBook Pro doesn't get bogged down by picture files, but it can handle the programs. Okay. Okay, so I'm just going to look back through this here. Sarah said you can build workflows. Yep, that's good. You can save all of your contracts, questionnaires. That's good. Andrea said, I love that with Pixieset, you have everything you need in your lap: contract, creation, sharing, website creation, and hosting, finances, etc. Yeah, it is true. It is all in one. That is convenient. Shay said, I have an iMac, and if I was any busier, it would not be working properly. An iMac, I have to say, like my husband looked at the research, and the iMacs are actually not as good as the MacBook Pros. They don't have all of the specs that the MacBook Pros do. It sucks because they have the bigger screens, but if you're considering maybe getting a MacBook Pro next time and just getting a larger screen that you can plug into it, then I would recommend that. Iris Works. Yeah, I've heard good things about that too. His SEO services are no good. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So yes, lighting equipment is important. And I'm going to talk about that in a minute. Andrea said, I spent tons of money on a gaming computer with all the bells and whistles built by my brother-in-law, getting a MacBook Pro ASAP. I'm telling you right now, it's just, they're just not built the same way. They just don't have the same specs. Okay. And it's just the easiest way for me to tell you. Anna said, I have to agree with you. MacBook Pro is amazing. I invested a few weeks ago in Mac Studio. It worked like a dream. Oh, cool. Yeah, so definitely, like, don't take my word for it. Go into the Apple Store, tell them exactly what you're doing, the size of files that you're working with, the software you're using. Explain to them, because a lot of these guys that work with Apple computers, they know, because photographers are coming in there all the time. And a lot of them are photographers. So just ask them and find out. Don't get the bare bones RAM and storage and stuff. You want to get them at least the middle one or above. I usually go for the middle pricing one just because it's more affordable and it usually has everything that I need. Okay. So if you're looking at upgrading your camera, or maybe you have recently purchased a camera, and you're wondering, like, did you do the right thing, whatever. I really recommend that if you are not using a full frame camera, whether it's a mirrorless or a DSLR, please look at getting a full frame camera. Okay. It's really, really important to get a full frame camera. I can go into all the details of it, but put it this way, you get so much more available to you, and you don't have to be as far away. There's less things that are cropped out. A crop sensor is just, you're so limited. Okay. A full frame camera, it just has that much more to offer. And if you're running a professional business, then you need to have the proper equipment. And I just hate to tell you, but a full frame is necessary. So if you don't have a full frame, please start saving up for it and look into getting a full frame. So it can be mirrorless, it can be DSLR. You can buy used, you don't have to buy brand new. I'm not afraid of buying used. I buy used all the time. I always test it first to make sure. But I would recommend that over buying a fancy camera that's a crop sensor. You know what? I don't calibrate my screens. I just make sure that my editing matches my prints at the labs that I order from. And they've, usually the only color issues I have is the printing issues I have is exposure. So I always order test prints if I get a new computer, and I make sure that my histogram numbers are matching what I order print wise. And I have had to learn how to adjust that with my editing to make sure that my prints match my editing. But yes. Alicia, that is so fantastic. Yeah. Okay, I'm just looking through. I'm trying to just keep on top of these questions. Yeah, no, I don't calibrate. And honestly, because I sell products, okay? I do in-person sales and I sell products. So I have to make sure my screen matches my prints. So I always make sure that if I get a new computer, that I order test prints, and I make sure that I adjust my screen brightness, or I adjust the brightness in how I edit, and then it matches. Nicole said, agree that full frame is a necessity. I currently only have a crop sensor and make do, but I can't wait for a full frame. Yes, it's so necessary. Shay said, I can always tell when someone is shooting on crop, especially in photo and color quality. It definitely just gives you a lot more limitations, and it's so much your mind is gonna be blown if you get a full frame, okay? There's really no other way to tell you. Okay, so lighting. Okay, so if you are brand new to the game and you cannot afford to invest in studio lighting, that is okay. You can use a window. I'm just going to talk about window lighting really, really quickly. So if you are a natural light photographer, you want to shoot near a window that is as large as possible, especially if it can go to the floor, that's even better. So like a patio window, a patio door is great. You don't want to shoot in direct sunlight, even if you're inside the house. You definitely want to shoot with the infant just out of the bright direct sunlight. So if you're having issues with too much direct sunlight, then adjust the time of day that you're photographing. You can also add frosted shower curtains to your windows to diffuse the light. And also sheer curtains will help as well. But or you could use a white king size sheet and put that on a curtain rod. There's so many different things that you can do, but you definitely do not need to worry about getting studio light if you can't afford it. I used natural light for the first 3 years I did photography. And yes, I did switch over to studio lighting because I wanted more consistency. But I also live in an area where we get really long winters, we get short daylight hours, and we get really crazy weather. So I didn't want to deal with that anymore. And that's the reason I switched to studio light. Now, there's a few things that are on the market for newborn photographers. I'm just going to list the top best recommended lights. So the Godox AD600. I can't remember what it is in American. I feel like it's around $500 or $600 in American. The Policy Buff, I know that they have a lighting kit that you can buy for around $1,000, but I think the Einstein is only around $500. Of course, you're going to need more than just the Einstein, but I'm going to get to that in a second. And then the Westcott FJ400 is around $600 from B&H. And I know that you can also order it off of Amazon. So I think you can get a few of those. And definitely the reason why I listed these is because they're well known for their good color and their reliability. Okay. The Westcott FJ400 is wireless. The Einstein does have a cord, and the Godox AD600, I don't know. I think somebody in here has it, and they can let us know what they have. Yeah, and you know what? Don't be afraid to try a cheaper Godox option. I think Godox is actually a really good brand, and they're definitely getting a really good they are getting a really good reputation, so don't be afraid. 80 is okay. 8600 is wireless. Thank you so much. Awesome. Okay, so I'm just going to look back at these comments here. Tanya, is it true you don't need to calibrate when using a Mac? I think that it's important to do test prints, and then whatever lab you decide to work with, as long as your edits match your prints, you don't need to calibrate. And I've had like 4 Macs in the last 13 years. No, 3. Sorry, I've had 3 Macs. I've had 2 laptops and an iMac, but I bought one of those laptops used, and I bought the iMac brand new, and this MacBook Pro brand new, and I've never had to calibrate. Samantha, I am in Alberta. I'm near Edmonton. Yes. Andrea said yes to the Policy Buff lighting package. Einstein doesn't anymore. I don't know what that means. You're in love with your Einstein. Godox 600 can be wired, or you can buy a separate battery. Okay, that's cool. Yeah, I used to have an Alien Bee as well, Sasha. I kept it. I bought it brand new. I had an Alien Bee 400, and I kept it until it broke, and it was an awesome light. Does anybody have the ProPhoto B10 and use it for newborn photography? I don't. I've never tried it, so I can't answer you, Haven. So I'm sorry that I can't answer you, but I've never used that light before. And Andrea said Einstein does have to be plugged in and can't run on its own. Yes, that's correct. Okay. And then for lighting equipment, I would recommend, rather than, like, if you were to buy the light unit without a newborn photography package from Policy Buff, I don't know what kind of light stand they sell with it. However, from B&H, you can get the reverse Matthews stand. And what it does is it lowers really low to the ground. And so what that allows is your umbrella to go to the ground. So you have way more control. Some studio light stands, your light can only go so low, which can be a problem if you're doing props or if you're shooting with kids laying on the floor. So it's really great to have a stand that gives you the option to lower it nice and low, and it's a really affordable light stand. I've had mine for 13 years and it's never broke. It's never had any issues. Okay, so then we have the softbox or the umbrella. The PLM stands for a parabolic umbrella, and you can get that on Amazon. I recommend bigger the better, or as small as a 64-inch. Oh, they don't offer that package anymore. Okay, well, that's okay, because I'm telling you everything you need anyways. So that's okay. Haven, you said what lab do you recommend? I like to print my prints and my acrylic wall art through WHCC, which is called White House Custom Color. And then I like to order my albums from QT Albums. Okay, so they're called QT Albums. Okay, for soft boxes, you don't need a soft box if you don't want one. But you can get a soft box. They're usually more money, but they produce beautiful lighting. So I think it's really just whatever you're, excited about, then just go for that. I have had a softbox before. I loved it, but then I heard all about the PLMs and I went with the PLMs, and then now I feel like maybe I should get a softbox again. I don't know. It's really, I feel like as photographers, it's all just personal taste. But these are definitely great for newborns. They provide soft lighting. And I recommend the black on the outside, the white on the inside, and then a white diffusion fabric on the front. Okay, and then Policy Buff also has triggers. The triggers are pretty affordable, or you can get triggers off of Amazon. So just make sure that you can actually connect it to your camera. Alicia said, what was the photo lab again? It's WHCC for my prints. They have really beautiful printed products and acrylic prints. And then the lab, I keep calling it lab. The albums I order are from QT Albums. Okay. Oh, and it says right here, I was going to mention that the 50mm lens or the 35mm lens. Now, if you don't have a full frame, you definitely need the 35mm lens so that you can be close enough to the baby and be safe when you're posing. Okay, the 50mm lens is a beautiful portrait lens. Everyone calls it the Nifty 50. It's an excellent lens to have. The bokeh is beautiful. You can open it right up. Same with the 35mm. You're going to get less distortion. However, just do what you got to do. If you only have a crop sensor, then get a 35mm. And if you have a full frame, then you can work with either one. I have both of those lenses, and I find that I use them equally. Yes, I agree, Andrea. I agree. Yeah, the lighting or the light stand doesn't necessarily have to be heavy duty, but you can get sandbags to weight it down if you are concerned. Okay, so here are some essential props that I recommend. And let me tell you guys, if you're starting a newborn photography business, don't be afraid to just buy the essentials. You do not need to buy every single prop that you see coming on the market, okay? It is not important to have every single prop out there that's is on your feed. I would recommend these 4 props as the essential props that you invest in, and get some good ones. Don't go for cheap for these ones, because you're going to use them for the next your entire business. Okay. You're not going to sell them. You're going to keep them. They're not going to break. Well, the basket might get worn out, but the other three are going to definitely, you know, be as good as when you bought them, as long as you take care of them. Okay. Honestly, please don't let your addiction control your business unless you are making a profit and you have the money to blow on props. Because I am seeing way too many photographers go out of business, and it is making me so sad. And you don't need everything. You just don't. Yes, it is good to have a prop budget that you can stick to every year, or every month, and just stay within that budget. Because if you lose control on your spending on props, your business is going to be in the red, and you're going to eventually have to close the doors. Because I'm sorry, unless you're making money to stay in business, it's just not sustainable. Yeah, quality, not quantity. I totally agree, 100%. So you can get the bucket. This is the honey bucket. I got it from Loonberry. You can get it from, I don't know if Rosie Rain still has it, but Lily Bear Props has it. Original Photo Blocks might have it. But those two, Loonberry and Lily Bear, definitely have it. This one crate, my husband built it. It's awesome. I use it all the time, especially for boy sessions. Oh, and for girl sessions too. It's an amazing prop. I even use it for sitter sessions. And it probably cost $20 to build it. Okay. So definitely, or you can buy a crate. There's lots of vendors for crates. Hello Little has crates, Newborn Nerds has crates. And then of course, all of these vendors have crates. So definitely invest in a crate. You're going to use it all the time. This bucket, Alicia, is from Loonberry, and they also sell it in white. I can find the dimensions. Yes, a wood bed is good too, but definitely, like, if you want multi-purpose, I'm going to show you a few different poses that you guys can do with all of these. And so it's going to give you 3 different variations of poses. And so you're going to have more than enough options to offer your clientele. This basket, the reason why I love it so much is because of the handles that point out. It just gives so much interesting, I don't know, it's just interesting to look at. I just feel like it's prettier than just a round basket. But a round basket is good too. There's nothing wrong with a round basket, but it does offer something different than just a round bowl. So you can use it for a bunch of different, you know, poses, but you can also get it from any one of these vendors. So Loonberry, Rosie Rain, Lily Bear Props, Original Photo Blocks, check out those vendors. Okay. And then of course a wooden bowl is the last one. And definitely you need a wooden bowl. So when I first started newborn photography, I didn't have very much money. I ended up finding a wooden dough bowl from an antique store for $30, and I still have it, and it's awesome. And I love it. I use it all the time. So like, don't be afraid to, look in your local antique stores. You just want to make sure that it's not too big and not too small. Okay. So a good way to tell on size is measure from your elbow to your wrist. That's usually, I would say, how deep it needs to be for a bucket or basket. And then probably just measure with your hand, with width. Because think about how big a baby is. Babies are usually around like 18 to 21 inches in length. So just make sure that you're not buying anything that's too big. Okay, so this is just a different idea to give you with a bucket. So if you don't get a wooden bucket, you can get a metal bucket. You could even get a metal bucket from a hardware store and paint it. This is what this bucket is. It's just a white metal bucket. Now it is harder to do the chin on hands pose with this metal bucket because it's got a thin rim, and it's always more challenging to pose a newborn on a thin rim of a bucket. So I would recommend, if you want to make your life a little bit easier, go for a wooden bucket because the rim is thicker and wider, and it's just a little bit easier to work with. This is another pose that I love, that my clients love. I call it the leg dangle. I have tutorials for it on momtalkeducate.com. I have tutorials for all of these, but this is definitely one of my very favorite ways to use a crate because it's just, oh, okay, now you worried me, Alicia, that it was frozen for everyone. Okay, it's not. Okay. Yeah, so the only thing about Home Goods, Shay, is that you just need to make sure it's not too big and not too small. So once you find the right measurements, then you'll be good. Every time you go into Home Goods or things like that, you'll be able to make sure, okay, it's the right size. You don't want it too big, you don't want it too small, okay? And also it's a safety issue. If it's too small, then it's a safety issue. It can tip over, you know, the baby doesn't fit, can, you know, cause issues with airway, whatnot. So you just wanna make sure that you're getting the right size. This is the same basket as the last page. So it's this basket, but the baby is posed in a wrap. And the basket is big enough to fit this baby just like this. It's just with a blanket, nothing fancy, and it's just so cute. And then a wooden bowl here, and you can see the baby is wrapped. The baby has a diaper on, and you can see all the skin, and it's backlit, so it's really pretty. Oh, that's awesome, Amber. Oh, Nicole, that's so cool about the rocking chair. That's so cool. Oh. Yes, Andrea. So if it's too small, okay, so just think about the size of a baby. For depth, if it's a bucket if it's a bucket, it needs to be at least the depth from your elbow to your wrist, okay? That's how deep it should be, at least. You don't want it to be crazy deep, and because if it is, then you're gonna have to build it up. And you don't want it to be crazy wide, because if it's too wide, then it can, you know, baby just looks ridiculous in it. But you could use it for a different type of pose. You could use it for this maybe, or you could use it for this. And then just think about width. I would probably go with, probably from my elbow, sorry, I'm like awkward in front of my camera. I would go probably from my elbow to here, width wise. Okay. Okay, the next essentials is, yeah, but I would just start there, and then that's a, you know, like think about how big a baby is, and you can kind of eyeball if something's too big. It's usually easier to tell if something is too big, because if you do the measurement like I just told you or showed you, then you'll know. Okay, so fabric, you do not have to order fabric from vendors. Yes, they create, sometimes they do, they do custom prints and stuff, but most vendors, or a lot of vendors, order their fabric from different online fabric stores in bulk, and a lot of those stores will sell to you too. You just have to get creative and Google search it. You can go online and do that, or you can go to your local fabric store. You're going to want to look for jersey knit, sweater knit, cashmere knit, pretty much anything with knit in it. And you want to look for 4-way stretch. Okay. I would recommend getting 2 yards of fabric, and then you can cut off a section to be a wrap. Okay. And then I would recommend that you start with neutrals, and that you get at least 4 or no 6 different fabrics to start with. Okay. And then we have layers. So layers is like, for instance, this chunky knit layer underneath the baby, and this woolly thing underneath this baby. You can get those layers from Beautiful You or Art My Blanket. They're the perfect size. I would recommend that you get 2 to start with and get neutrals. I'm not joking. I barely use my colored layers. I use my creams and my earth tones 1,000 times more than any of the colored ones that I have. So just keep that in mind when you're first starting. Don't go nuts and buy every color under the sun. You're not going to use them. You're going to use your neutrals, and then you're going to regret that you didn't buy different varieties of neutral layers. And you can also go to the thrift store, and you can get, you know, old sweaters or blankets, cut them up, get creative. You can go to the thrift store or Goodwill and get you know, old quilts and cut it up. Like, just, you can be creative. You don't have to buy from vendors if you can't afford it. Yes, and join DStash groups too. I definitely agree with that. Thanks, Shay, for recommending that. And then headbands, they range from around $20 to $70. There's a million different vendors. I recommend just going on Instagram and typing in the hashtag newborn photography vendors or newborn photography tiebacks or newborn photographer or newborn photography. And then just a lot of photographers will tag the vendor that they bought from. So that's a really great way to find vendors and get creative. I found a lot of really beautiful, real floral halo type headbands by doing that exactly. I would not buy anything off of Amazon, Amber. It just looks very, not all of them are good quality. So, and sometimes the sizing are really, really off and you're probably just not even going to use them. You might use them a couple times and realize how junky they are and then wish that you had bought a good quality one. So I would recommend just scrap Amazon for these types of things. These are the one thing that you really want to buy good quality because they're really just gonna show their luxury feel and quality in the pictures rather than buying something cheap because they're in the picture, right? Like they're showing. So this is not where you want to cheap out. Okay. Yes, Dainty Miss is a great one. I feel like I have every headband from Dainty Miss. She's awesome. Yeah, Goodwill knit or crochet scarves make great wraps. Totally. Yes, there's a whole bunch of DStash groups. Maybe some of you guys can tag some or link some DStash groups right in the comment section. Yeah, and you can sew your own outfits too. Yeah, that's super smart. Yes. And you know what? Like, you can go to Walmart in United States, not in Canada, unfortunately, and they have, like, no joke, the most beautiful 2-yard rolls of fabric, sweater knits, jersey knits, a whole bunch of different beautiful colors and textures, lace, different things, and they're $4. I know because I was just in Florida like a couple months ago and I bought a whole bunch, and then I made a bunch of videos on my Instagram stories or reels. So definitely awesome. Yeah. Okay, I'm just making sure that I'm not missing anybody. Andrea said, when I first started, I only invested in high quality neutrals. I added colors as clients requested specific colors before sessions. Yes, and that's exactly what I recommend because honestly, the more colors you buy, you're not going to know if you like photographing them or not until it's too late. I just realized I'm blabbing and I'm taking so long. Okay. I'm almost through this. Okay, so if you are new to newborn photography and you want to, you know, set up your posing studio for newborns, you don't have to go expensive. This part you can actually do cheap. So you can get a dog bed. They're around $50 or $60. Add some foam to it. The foam should be around 5 to 6 inches thick. It needs to be firm like a couch cushion. Okay, I was told that I'm not being specific enough. It needs to be firm and dense, not super soft and squishy. Yes, it needs to be soft, but it needs to be dense. Okay, because you need a firm surface to pose a newborn on. If your dog bed is sagging, then you need to flatten it out, use a piece of wood, like whatever you need to do to fix it, then go for it. But that is what's going to be a game changer. Yeah, AliExpress is great for outfits, but not blankets and stuff like that. Okay, and then if you need to use something to pose a baby on and you're really struggling with your newborn posing, and maybe you have these posing beads on the side that I recommend, these are not actually what I want you to pose the baby on themselves. I actually want you to buy a foam roller, cut it in half so that it's got a flat surface, shave off the edges, and in variety of sizes. And the whole point is that they're firm, okay? And you can actually hot glue some velvet fabric on top to make it soft, and they're not slippery that way. But it's going to be a game changer for your posing. And then these posing beans are great for additional tools. So in props, maybe you need an extra couple beans when you're posing the baby on the dog bed. But the main tools that you're going to pose the baby with is a large one for the head to go like this, and then one for the foot. Yes, there are professional ones that you can buy from Hello Little, but I am only recommending these because these are cheap. You can do it DIY for like $10 to $20. So if you are trying to do things affordably, this is a great option. Now these are in my essential toolkit. I have clamps to clamp the fabric. So this way you can have the fabric pulled nice and tight, and you can, make a PVC frame if you want to, or what I do is I just use a couple of cushions in the back of the dog bed to raise the fabric up, and then I don't even need a frame, an extra frame. I just use the dog bed and then a couple cushions, and then it raises the fabric up in the back. I have a foldable stool. I sit on this in front of the dog bed, and that way I don't have back pain, people. Okay, I'm telling you right now, if you have back pain, and with the foam on top of the dog bed, you're not hunched over and you don't get back pain. Okay. If you have issues with back pain and you're still having issues with back pain using a stool and a dog bed with foam, just like I do, then use a table. Okay. I don't like to pose on a tall surface just because I'm a stress case. Okay. I like to have babies low to the ground. What is the bed poser you used? I use a dog bed, and I use the foam, and I use the is that what you're asking? Or these bed posers? I use the Shapeshifters from Hello Little, and I also have the Nest from Newborn Nerds, but this is a DIY version. So if you want to do DIY, then use a foam roller. Okay, they're for exercise. Then I recommend a vibration paddle. This is really great. I use it with every newborn baby, with every session. And I also have a shusher. I have just an Amazon one, but this is a brand name one, and it's a little bit more expensive, but basically you just need it to shush. It literally goes shh, shh. That's literally all it does. If you don't want to buy one of these, you don't have to. If you have an Alexa, like an Echo or something like that, you can just download or have Alexa play white noise. I tell Alexa to play box fan white noise, and that works great. There's ones on Apple Music that have a 3-hour long track, and that's the one I use, is 3 hours long. Okay, so for floors and backdrops, yeah, lots of people use card tables. Tables stress me out, but you know what? As long as you're posing safely, you never walk away from baby, there's no reason not to use a table. It's just my personal preference, okay? A lot of people ask me, where is my floor from? My floor, as you see in this picture, is real wood. I actually, no joke, got the wood from a lumber yard. I went up to them, told them what I was doing. I needed a floor that I could, have saw marks on it, and they let me pick out the ones that I liked best. I came home, I put it through a planer. Well, I had my husband. Our neighbor had a wood planer. So what that did is it also put more grooves in the wood and like saw blade marks, and that's what I use. Okay, so that is what's in the picture. You can also go to Home Depot and get wood that's pre-stained. Oh, Better Sleep white noise app. Awesome. Perfect. Thank you so much for sharing. There's also fabric drops that you can buy, and fabric drops are great. There's ones that are wrinkle free. The only thing that I don't like about the idea of a fabric backdrop is that you have to clamp it down. I see a lot of photographers will use fabric and then there's wrinkles in their images. That drives me bonkers. So you have to be really careful to have it clamped to a frame. But I can see how amazing that would be to be a mobile photographer. It would be so easy to pack with you. So definitely an option if you're a mobile photographer. A neoprene floor is one that is rubber on the bottom and almost like a carpet on the top. And it's great. This is what that is. This is from Rozzy Rain. And I love it. It's matte. It's really easy to work with. It's heavy. It doesn't move around. I love it. I vacuum it. You can't get liquid on it. That's the thing. Poly paper, of course, you can't get liquid on that either. but it's lightweight. It's probably the cheapest option, and it's got a matte finish, so you don't have to worry about like a vinyl look where it photographs with a shine to it. Yeah, Rhonda said she went to Home Depot, got wood and stained it. That's definitely an option too. So really you can be very creative with your backdrops. With my wood floors, I flip them over. They're painted cream on the other side. Now for seamless paper colors. These are the ones that I've had in my studio for the last 10 years. I have bone. I always buy a 107 inch. Unfortunately, the last time I bought bone, I could only buy an 86 inch because that's all they had. But I recommend 107 inch width, and it's the perfect size. Okay. I have white. White is great for those newborn sessions that request it. I generally don't use it for newborn sessions, but whatever. I also use it for mini sessions and for family and all that sort of thing. Chestnut is the dark reddy brown color that you see in this picture. It's a really rich color. It also works great for glitter sessions. So for gold glitter. And then the thunder gray is in this picture. It's like a charcoal color. It's very pretty. It can be really dark or it can be lighter like this, depending on how you light it and edit it. And it's also great for glitter sessions with silver glitter. So basically, this is the breakdown for your minimum investment to start a photography business as a professional. And this is excluding education, okay? So monthly, you're looking at $125 a month for your business fees, subscriptions, 41. So that's $166 a month. Now, the gear and lighting minimal investment is around $5,000. Props, minimum 300. Essential accessories, 450. So that's like your fabric and things like that. Posing tools, 160 to or plus 150. So all the things that I have already covered. And then backdrops, depending on, you know, what type of backdrop you buy. If you do wood off of, you know, Marketplace, or if you go to a lumber yard, or if you buy a pre-printed backdrop, it can start at $200. And then seamless paper is around $140 a roll. So you're looking at $6,400 up front and $166 a month as well going forward. Okay. So don't forget though that this is important cost to think about. So if you're already in the business, maybe there's a few things that you need still that's on this list. All of these things are really important to consider when you are thinking about your pricing and how you're going to be charging, because it doesn't even talk about education yet. You still need to think about education. So, but you also have to consider the cost of maintaining your gear and your equipment, possibly sending in for repair or upgrading, possibly upgrading. It's always good to have 2 camera bodies. I even, you know, believe in having 2 lights minimum, just because, you know, if you're running a professional business, it's really important to make sure that you do not only have one and then it fails and then you're, you know, looking like, you know, an unprofessional. Yeah, Savage paper is the seamless paper that I purchase. And as far as the Swaddle Pro, I have never bought it. I have never used it. I know that some people like it, but I feel that you don't need it. So if you want it and you like it, then go for it. I've never needed it. I have techniques for wrapping, and for different poses and different wraps. I use different types of wraps, but I don't think it's, you know, really a necessity. So don't worry about buying it. It's not necessary. So thanks for hanging out today, you guys. So this was really focused on basically the essentials for new photographers. So if you are brand new, you know, and you're just thinking about, you know, starting out as, you know, doing this for a business, then, you know, this was a really great boot camp for you. Tomorrow, we're going to talk about pricing and marketing. So this is for every single person in the industry, new or experienced, because I know that there's a lot of experienced photographers that are still not charging their value and are still not charging what they need to charge to make a sustainable and profitable business. And I've seen so many people going out of business and it just breaks my heart. So I just really, really hope that, you know, you guys join me tomorrow. And please share this group with your friends and others, because I am very I'm all about building up the community, and I just love having this with you guys. So today's giveaway is basically everything that I've talked about. So I'm just going to grab this link and pull up the link and pop it into the chat. So just bear with me for a sec, please. I'm just going to grab this. So you are going to enter your name and your email address in order to get the freebie. It's 42 pages long. If you are in mentoring, you already have it. So this is basically for those that are not in mentoring, okay? In case you're wondering. So here is the link. I've just posted it. I'm so glad that you guys found today beneficial. Oh, I'm so glad. Wonderful. You guys make me feel so happy. Thank you. I really appreciate it. It makes me excited to do these boot camps with you guys. And I know that this boot camp is a little bit different than all the other ones I've done, just because I felt like it was important to cover right from the beginning all the way till, all of the different things that we need to talk about in this industry. So thank you so much, you guys, for hanging out today. So make sure that you join in tomorrow. And yeah. Oh, thanks, Jordan. I'm so glad you love my education. That's awesome. Don't worry, you're going to be able to rewatch it if you were not able to. And yes. Okay, so yeah, go for it. There's actually measurements. There's a workflow, an easy workflow inside this resource. There's a fussy baby workflow. There's lots of really great stuff. So definitely grab that. And I've never given it away. I've always only given this to mentoring students before. So if you've attended a boot camp before, this is brand new for you. Okay, so thank you guys. Have an awesome day. And, if you're watching the replay, keep posting. I am really just happy to see your comments and read your questions and answer your questions. Okay, so you guys have an awesome day, and I will see you tomorrow.